what a maquiladora is? Do you know what a sweatshop is? Have you ever wondered what happens in reality while working in a maquiladora or a sweatshop? A maquiladora is an offspring factory or a manufacturing plant operated under U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreements to encourage the development of industry in Mexico. A sweatshop is a factory or workshop, especially in the clothing industry, where manual workers are employed at very low wages for long hours and under poor conditions. I'll be giving examples of what a maquiladora and a sweatshop is all about. Not only did a maquiladora and a sweatshop often have poor working conditions, unfair wages, unreasonable hours, it also had child labor and a lack of working benefits. People who work in sweatshops and maquiladoras spend most of their paycheck on food for their families to survive. These people struggle on a daily basis in life just to make sure they can maintain their household. No matter what it took or what their working conditions were, they still went to work. They all lived in humble homes because the money they earned wasn't enough. Men and women alike are subjected to verbal, physical, and sexual abuse in factories from their managers and supervisors. They are sometimes trapped in the factory and forced to work overnight or even multiple shifts. Not only did the women have to put up with the verbal, physical, and sexual abuse, but the women were forced to take birth control and have to take routine pregnancy tests because the companies and the factories did not want to support maternity leave or provide health benefits to them. The owners of the factories and workshops may be happy because of the money they are making, but they are not realizing the damage they are causing around them. If you may see on this picture, once a factory closes, they leave their waste and don't realize they are polluting. Not only are they polluting, but the waste they leave sometimes are toxic and are causing people who live around the area to become very ill. The owners of the factories and companies are so careless, they don't make sure that the environment where the workers work at is safe. This is why this incident occurred in Bangladesh and injured many, but it killed many more. Here is an example of a true life experience as a sweatshop worker. The book Chicken Feathers and Garlic Skin is about a 25-year-old girl who left her home in China to go work for a factory in an island called Saipan. This young girl left home seeking for a better future, working somewhere else where she thought she would get paid well. She did not think there was going to be consequences in this job. Here in her book, she gives an example, the barracks. Life as a garment factory worker in the Mirage factory, barracks was not like anything you can imagine. There were hundreds of people working at one time, eating at one time, showering at one time, all working overtime, all at the same time. After the day's work, we returned to the barracks. Every room was small and they were all like sheds. Besides living in a horrible condition, not only did they struggle with poor living conditions, but they also struggled with illnesses. In the book, Chang Yu Wing wrote, "If workers got sick, we had to write a letter to the director and have it signed and approved. If she didn't approve it, we had to go to the hospital on our own and spend our own money. Sometimes people would get a fever and want to go to the doctor. The office would tell them to wait. Sometimes they would wait for many days and the sickness would get worse and worse. Eventually, the sick girl would have to go on her own. The factory didn't want to spend the money, it would cut into their profits." This book was a great example of what really happens behind the doors of sweatshops. Changes need to be made in sweatshops and maquiladoras. These people are working hard, so at the end of the day, don't make enough money, get any benefits, and get mistreated.